Welcome back. Those were the main headlines. Now more details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting on Wednesday with the President's advisor for urban planning, Major General Amira Saeed Ahmed, and head of the Armed Forces Engineering Authority, Major General Ihab Al-Farah, as well as a number of officials of the Armed Forces Engineering Authority. The meeting tackled the executive status of the facilities in the new administrative capital, especially Egypt's Islamic Cultural Center, as well as Egypt's mosque, which is considered one of the biggest mosques in the world. The meeting also tackled the executive status of the diplomatic neighborhood, including resident houses, international schools, parks and worship houses for diplomats, which are built according to the highest international standards in coordination with the United Nations. The meeting also tackled work pace in a number of national projects, including Rose and Axis projects. President Sisi gave his directives to check all studies and relevant data of developing Salah Salim Axis, which passes through Cairo's historical and Islamic sites in a way that achieves traffic fluidity and ease burdens on citizens. The meeting also tackled work pace at car and bus stop in Al-Alfa Maskan area, which will include an integrated complex of services and shops within the framework of the comprehensive development of the area. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received on Wednesday a phone call from President of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi. The phone call tackled the developments of the Renaissance Dam file as the UN Security Council holds meeting on the issue on Thursday. During the phone call, President Sisi praised the efforts of the President of Congo as the current head of the African Union to sponsor the negotiations among Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia. The President stressed that Egypt's and Sudan's call to hold a meeting in the UN Security Council came as a result of the stubbornness of the Ethiopian side, which led to the stumbling of the negotiations, which are ongoing under the auspices of the African Union. President Sisi also said that the moves of Egypt and Sudan in the United Nations aim to enhance the African path and stress the leadership of the African Union. For his part, the President of Congo praised Egypt's efforts within the framework of the negotiations path to ensure its success. He also stressed that the Egyptian-Sudanese move in the UN Security Council would support efforts to reach African solutions for the African problems. The United Nations Security Council holds a meeting on Thursday to discuss the issue of Ethiopia's recent unilateral decision for a second filling of its dam. Ahead of the meeting, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry called on the Council to shoulder its responsibilities and act to reach a binding and just agreement on filling and operating the dam. Taking into account the interests of the three countries and preserving Egypt's water rights, Shoukry also met with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to stress Egypt's position on the Renaissance Dam issue. Tunisia submitted a draft resolution to the UN Security Council calling on Ethiopia to stop filling the reservoir of its controversial dam. It also called on Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia to resume negotiations at the joint invitation of the head of the African Union and the US Secretary General finalize within a period of 6 months the text of a binding agreement on filling and operating the dam. Egypt has warned that the unilateral decision of the second filling of the dam would worsen the crisis, arouse more tensions in the region and jeopardize international and regional peace and security. Both Cairo and Khartoum had been notified by Addis Ababa that the second phase of the dam's filling had begun. The container ship that blocked the Suez Canal in March resumed its journey on Wednesday after the owner and insurers of the ship reached a compensation settlement with the Suez Canal Authority. A ceremony was held to mark the departure of the vessel, which is located with about 18,300 containers. Head of Suez Canal Authority, Rear Admiral Osama Rabia, held a press conference following the signing of the compensation agreement. Rabia asserted that the deal preserves Egypt's full rights and relations with its partnerships and thanked the mega ship owner for their cooperation and understanding to reach a settlement for this issue. He also pointed out that it's the first time to succeed in refloating such a huge vessel in such a short time. One of the world's largest container ships, the Ever Given, became wedged diagonally across a single-lane stretch of the canal for 6 days, disrupting global trade. Upon directives by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Egypt sent medical aid to Sudan in the framework of Egypt's solidarity with the Sudanese people in the times of crises. 4 military planes loaded with big quantities of medical aid headed for Khartoum airport. Officials in Sudan thanked the Egyptian leadership, government and people for their support. They also stressed the importance of this aid to support the medical sector in Sudan.